All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today is it's Monday, February 12th, and we are working our way through the material for our class in risk analysis. It's kind of surprising, but we are actually at week 5 right now. And as you know, we only have 8 weeks in the entire class. So we are really moving forward. So I wanted to let you know, first of all, that everybody who is in attendance right now has passed the hurdle that we set, which was stating your research question as your either research question or your topic as a sentence. So I do have a person who has not done that yet. So I'm just, if you have not received basically a thumbs up on this discussion board where it says post one sentence only, please make sure that you work with me to get that topic nailed down. But like I said, everybody who's online right now has done that, so we are good to go. So the next thing that we're going to do is, now that we've got our research topic and we have started talking about our literature search, I have put some resources up here for tonight. There's a lecture, I actually recorded this lecture that's February 12th, 2024 last year. And on that lecture, I say that we're not going to be having a Zoom lecture next week, but that's not true. We'll meet just like this next week. It was just last year I had some unforeseen events come up. So I didn't have a lecture, but next week we will have a lecture, Zoom, or it won't be face-to-face. The following week will be face-to-face, but next week will be Zoom just like this. So our topic is how to write a literature review and incorporate that work into your final paper. Then begin the methods section of risk analysis and start to investigate whatever it is in your field of study. So we'll look at both quantitative and qualitative. Most of you have chosen really nice topics that are basically qualitative. And so that's going to be a little softer in terms of the math and the methods than the articles that we have up, but these are sort of guiding principles for doing risk analysis. We talk mostly about financial risk analysis, financial risk management, because in business, that's sort of where we go. So we're going a little bit broader, but a lot of material is written about doing risk analysis for finance. And some of you have chosen very quantitative and very financially sourced topics. So all of this will be valid for you regardless of your field. It'll just give you some ways of thinking about it, which is really the most important part. Now, there's a couple of different things that I wanted to show you, some documents that are up on the Moodle page. I think I need to do a new share. Here we go. All right. And this is just a little paper that is an example of what an annotated bibliography might look like. So what it does is it doesn't really talk, there's no real content in this paper, except where it's just a process, and then it shows you what the paper looks like. So using citations correctly, how to do your different levels of your different heading levels, and how to write those references in APA format. Now, if you do the citation with Google Scholar, it will help you with this. It may not be perfect, but it will be very close. So if you do that, if you use Google Scholar, you're going to be 80% there before you get going with this. So that's always a good thing. The next thing I wanted to show you, aside from just the ideas about risk analysis and the template for the APA paper, I did an example bibliography. I'll have to find that in just a second. I thought it was right here. But I also have an example of a qualitative risk analysis final paper. This was written by a student last year named Ronnie Wolf, and it is with Ronnie's permission, so you can read it. I told him I'd redact his name, but he was happy to have the paper reviewed by you. And so I thought this might be useful for you to have an example of what this looks like. Of what your paper is going to look like. Obviously, the paper is not going to be the same, but it's going to have some features in communication with that, or that are consistent with that. Now, the other thing is I have not unhidden this yet. I need to go through this section. But if you look at this, this is at the last week, when we get to where we assemble our APA paper. And you can see the different sections. And the thing I want to show you is that you're writing this paper all along. So the introduction will be that personal experience paper that you wrote a couple of weeks ago. The literature review will be from the annotated bibliography, as will the reference section at the end. So then after you do your literature review, you'll talk about your methods and your results and your conclusions based on your experience and the literature review. So we'll be doing those in sequence. And then when you're done with the whole thing, we'll go back and write the abstract, which is just 150 or 200 words. But so this is a really interesting way to look at things, because I just want to reassure you that you're not doing busy work and then you're going to be dumped with a bunch of stuff at the end. But it's just sort of everything that we're doing is working toward this final paper. Now, the other thing is, here is an APA 7 reference page example. This is not an annotated bibliography, but this is just what you'll have for your 5 sources or more, but 5 at least sources that you'll do based upon the reference, the annotated bibliography. But this is a sample, and I tried to include some different types of references: a journal, a couple of journals, a journal, this is actually from a particular meeting with a DOI, which is just a permanent resource locator. Then a chapter or some pages from a book. And another one, I must have loved that ACM Inroads at that point, but that's has a DOI as well. And then just some different types, because the form that your references take depend on what that reference is. If it's a book, if it's the proceeds from a professional conference, if it's a journal article, and so forth. So everything is in that form. And now that I see that I still have it hidden, I will put that up on your Moodle page this week, and make sure that it is available to you when you start writing your reference page for your annotated bibliography. So does anyone have any questions or any observations or anything that strikes you right now that you'd like to talk about, ask questions, or comment on? Okay, well, that's fine. Basically, we take a look at all of the stuff that we've done. And the one thing that I kind of wanted to point out to you is your annotated bibliography is going to be due on Sunday. So you have the entire week and weekend to work on it. And then the next piece of writing assignment, there's a lot of reading assignments that are going on this week. And then there's this little bitty short quiz that I've added. So let me share this screen with you. Hang on just a second. Find it right here. So there's a quiz number 3 right here on your Moodle page. And you just click on this to get the quiz itself to pop up. But basically, it's just a few questions about writing a good research question, and also about that idea of what risk means academically. And I think everybody who is here tonight has nailed it down very, very well, but it's a complicated subject to talk about risk academically when we have this everyday usage of the term that we use risk for, and we mean something slightly different and very specific in this class. So I want to make sure that everybody has that, and then when you write that down, you'll get credit for that towards your final grade as well. All right, so let me take a look at one more thing. I want to go back to the page. So in just a few minutes, when we're off line, I will go ahead and put that example bibliography on the page where you can see it. It'll just be right here in the stuff that you're reading this week. But then this week, it's just basically a continuation of writing your annotated bibliography. Oh, there's a no, okay, I got to get the reference page up. I have an annotated bibliography. There it is. It is showing. Sorry. Let me find it. Let me show you right here. Just a second. There we go. All right, so this is in the previous week. We have that example of the annotated bibliography right here. And then I will put up the reference page as well, so you can see. You'll be able to write both of those documents from what we are doing this week. All right. So there's no new writing assignment this week except for that quiz, which will come due on Sunday as well. All right. So do you guys have any questions, comments? All right. All right. Well, don't hesitate to get a hold of me. I know this has been very, very short. We've only met for about 15 minutes, but I am available all week. So if you need to visit or if you have any questions or comments, please send me an email or text me or set up an appointment on Calendly, and we'll get together and we'll get everything cleared up. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, have a wonderful night. We'll see you later.
Thank you. You as well. Have a good night.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank you.